Okay, hi everyone. I'm Anne-Marie O'Keehan. I work for the Centre for Cross-Border Studies and I manage the Border People Project. I'm delighted to be joined today by Una Boyd from the CAJ. As you might know, the Border People Project aims to gather up information that will be useful to people who live in the island of Ireland, especially those people who cross the border occasionally and sometimes regularly, are cross-border workers or students or shoppers and many others. Some new questions are cropping up due to Brexit, and a very important one is the right to live in Northern Ireland if you're not a British or an Irish person. So we know that EU citizens and their non-EU family members who wish to remain in Northern Ireland after the end of this year, whenever the transition period ends, must apply to the UK's EU settlement scheme. It's free and it's fairly straightforward for many applicants. Irish citizens, those born outside of Northern Ireland, have been told that they do not need to apply to the scheme to remain in Northern Ireland, but they can apply if they need to. So if they have non-EU family members, this route is open to them. In comparison, British citizens living in Northern Ireland who wish to have their non-EU family members with them need to negotiate a very complex and a very expensive UK immigration system. However, as a result of a legal case by the D'Souza family and an agreement between the Northern Ireland political parties earlier this year, the rules for the people of Northern Ireland and their family members have been amended. And Una Boyd from the CAJ is with us today, and she's going to explain to us what those changes are and what they mean to us. So over to you.
Thank you, and thank you for Centre Cross Border Studies for inviting me to speak today. What I'm going to cover is a change that's coming into the EU settlement scheme. And the EU settlement scheme, as you mentioned, it's the scheme created by the UK government for EU nationals and their family members, and it's going to give them status in the UK after the transition period and after Brexit. One of the reasons that this is so important is it gives rights protections under the withdrawal agreement, and also the family reunion that is granted under EU law is much more accessible and generally much broader than family reunion that would come under the complex UK immigration rules that you mentioned. And that was the basis of the D'Souza case. What had happened was that Emma was an Irish citizen. She applied to bring her non-EU spouse to live with her in Northern Ireland. She found out that the Home Office considered her automatically British because she was born in Northern Ireland, even though she identified only as Irish. And British citizens and dual British and other EU nationalities, they're excluded from using those EU rights. So the D'Souza case relied on the Good Friday Agreement about the right for people of Northern Ireland to identify as Irish or British or both. And the changes that we're seeing have come out of that, and they're really significant because what this does is it opens up that EU settlement scheme to the people of Northern Ireland. So got the details of this on the next slide. How this works is that they're going to slot in the definition under the definition of EEA citizen. It will also say a relevant person of Northern Ireland. And so who is that? As you can see here, it's somebody who is a British citizen or an Irish citizen or a British and Irish dual national who was born in Northern Ireland, and at the time of their birth, at least one of their parents was a British citizen or an Irish citizen or a dual British and Irish citizen, or otherwise entitled to reside in Northern Ireland without restriction. And just for that last point, it sounds quite complex, but really it just means the child of migrant parents who their parents had permanent residence or indefinitely to remain at the time of their birth. So this is really significant because what this does is it opens up that EU settlement scheme to people of Northern Ireland, regardless of which citizenship they hold or identify with. So you can apply if you're British only, if you're Irish only, or with both British and Irish citizenship. And that's really unique because outside of this, dual nationals, nearly anyone who holds British and EU citizenship is excluded from using the EU settlement scheme, and British citizens are not able to use it at all. So the next slide, please. These changes are coming in on the 24th of August, and again, the important thing to remember is that people from Northern Ireland who are using them, they can do it if you only hold a British passport, if you only hold an Irish passport, or you hold both. And that's a big change. So I'm just really trying to emphasize that that part of it. And this also includes people from Northern Ireland who are living elsewhere in the UK. So people living in England or Scotland or Wales who meet that definition. They were born in Northern Ireland, they hold a British passport, they can use this, and they can use the EU settlement scheme. And where this is most important will be for people who have non-EU family members. And through the EU settlement scheme, those non-EU family members can get an immigration status, and that will, for after Brexit, and they will get either pre-settled or settled status. They can apply, the non-EU family members can apply to it even if the person from Northern Ireland hasn't or doesn't want to. And of course, if a person of Northern Ireland has an EU family member, they should be applying in their own right anyway. It's really a unique opportunity because access to EU family reunion, as I've touched on, it's free. It doesn't require minimum income. It doesn't require you to pay an immigration health surcharge. So there's huge advantages over UK immigration visas, such as spouse visas, where you have to pay thousands of pounds and you have to renew it every 2.5 years, and you have to be earning a certain amount of money to even sponsor the person. And it's only going to be for people from Northern Ireland who are able to access this. Other British citizens will not be able to. So it's a really unique little opportunity, and unfortunately it's also a really narrow opportunity because, as I said, it comes into force on the 24th of August and the deadline is the 30th of June 2021. So really, really limited time. And it gets a bit more limited when you realise that the person from Northern Ireland does need to be resident in the UK by the 31st of December 2020. So very tight window for people to take advantage of it. Give the next slide, please. Yeah, so applications are made just through the standard EU settlement scheme process. It's free, as Anne-Marie said. It's fairly straightforward for most people. It can be done on your phone. It seems like all of the eligibility requirements will be similar to essentially to other EU nationals. Family members as well seem to be treated the same way, and again that's another advantage because that's slightly broader than UK immigration. For example, children can be up to 21 years old, whereas under UK immigration rules they are only up to 18. The evidence that you need to provide seems again to just be the same as other EU nationals, except for one extra bit of evidence about your parents' status at the time that you were born. So yeah, it's something that I really hope there's a lot of people from Northern Ireland, I know myself, who have struggled with the UK immigration rules, who have maybe even been separated from their family members because they couldn't meet, say, the minimum income requirement. And I really hope that they will be able to take advantage of this because it really opens up a route to family reunion, which is so much more accessible, so much fairer, really. Mm-hmm. And that is if you are from Northern Ireland and are British or Irish or both. And that's so important because that's, by the Home Office, that's recognition of the Good Friday Agreement and the importance of that in Northern Ireland. So yeah, really hope that people will be able to use it.
That's great. Una, thank you so much. That's a great overview. You've made something very complicated quite straightforward there in a very short period of time, and it's brilliant to have you with us today. It's great to get some good news. So we're out of time for today, but we are going to put more information on this topic onto our website, borderpeople.info, and we'll make sure it's quite prominent on the home page. We'll also include a list of organisations who can provide expert immigration advice as well, because that's really important to seek advice from the experts. So that's all for now. So thanks a million to Una for joining us, and for everyone else, all the best. Bye.